Hi everybody, so I'm going to have a little look today at creating a slideshow, which hopefully uses images in a bit of a symbolic or metaphorical way instead of just a literal way. Now, the text I'm using is a completely made up text called The Clock Strikes, and as I go through the PowerPoint, I'm going to read out what I would be saying about this text. And hopefully you'll see how the slideshow matches up with what it is that I'm saying about this made-up novel. And then at the end, we'll have a little talk through how the PowerPoint actually worked, ready for your assessment task. Okay, so The Clock Strikes is a crime fiction novel that follows the noir tropes we have come to expect from the genre, and is driven by the ultimate, somewhat depressing moral that death can be a saviour from political corruption, particularly in today's modern climate of populist politics. The death of the protagonist, Shooter Flint, is foreshadowed consistently by the motif of a clock throughout the novel, starting from the opening line which states, "Time is only a measure of the life we've lived." This symbolic clock counts down the final hours of a very gritty detective's life. Set during the 2012 London Olympics, that last precarious moment of British national unity before Brexit, there are whispers of blackmail and double-dealing in the political corridors of power. Our detective's experience is shaped by a decision he must make to take the side of a corrupt Prime Minister, a devious femme fatale, or an activist who strives only for equality. Each chapter is headed intertextually with a statement from Ibsen's State of the Nation play, Rosmersholm, which lends a state of dramatic irony through quotes like, "Certain games are going on behind your back in this house," and which indicate themes of social, political and moral conflict as the whole parliamentary house of cards falls down around Shooter. Now, if I go back to the beginning, alright, so I'm talking about a crime fiction text, right? So what I've done is I've chosen a couple of things, and at the beginning I talked about the tropes and conventions of crime fiction. So I've got like a picture which shows a gun and all of those conventional things. I've got my title, and I've got by a detective, okay, who has written this novel. Now, this book, or the particular text I'm studying, is all about film, crime fiction and noir, so I wanted it to be dark. I've got themes which, I've got like the gif there of death. I've got this sort of metaphorical connection with the chain, because at this point I had said that corruption, okay, was linked to death, and that death was a freeing thing from corruption. All right, and here's my main protagonist up here. So there's a whole lot of things going on in this slide, which is supposed to represent the themes of the text and what it is that I've just said in this section of the speech. Notice how it's all in black and white, because that's kind of something I'm interested in. Depending on what you do, you might use colour in a very different way. But instead of showing a clock, I really liked this GIF because I think it symbolically tells us a little bit about time. I've also included a couple of quotes, okay? We know that we're not allowed to include a whole bunch of information from our actual speech, but we can put some quotes in to sort of, help to engage the reader with what it is that we're saying. At this point, I was talking about corruption, so I've taken some real-life shots of what happened in England, and, this is all images from newspapers. And at the end, I talked about the house of cards falling down and how fragile politics can be. And so I've got my little gift there, Union Jack, the great British flag, and I've got my cards sort of floating around in the background. Okay, so everything I've done within these 5 slides has really tried to connect with what it is that I'm saying in more of a symbolic way. Okay, and I really hope that helps. Good luck. Bye.